if you're basing this theory on the fact that he got a book done in 4 months with a guy that writes books
that's a
professionally
little
for a
weird.
living, I mean, listen,
I can ask a question and say that's a little weird. You don't think that's a little weird?
No.
Really? You don't think that's a little weird?
Christ, man. No. You're a smart guy.
No, I am a smart guy, and I ask questions.
Don't go.
Petra Bet David brought on this WEF sympathizer here onto his show on the Valuetainment YouTube channel, on the PBD podcast, and absolutely tore him to shreds. His name is Ian Bremmer, and he, of course, is debating in favor of the WEF, not the WWE. He's, of course, debating in favor of the WEF and the things that they are doing. And Petra Bet David, as he always does, is speaking out against it, and things get heated when the two clash on their ideas. Let's get into this clip here where Patrick Bet David absolutely destroys this woke nut for these ridiculous statements being made here on the PBD podcast.
20, where it becomes public. How does Klaus write such a book so fast that comes out in July 4 months later? I've never written a book that fast. I don't know if you remember the dates. So here's the COVID-19, the Great Reset.
He's got about 600 people. How many people working with him?
I got a lot of people working for me. So here's his book is July 9th, 2020. Mm-hmm. COVID is a thing in March. You just said it takes a year and a half to write a book.
Terry Mallory, I remember Terry. He is it takes me a year and a half because I have a goddamn day job. It's really hard. I have to find time to actually do it in between everything else that I do. It's hard. People that write books for a living, of whom Terry Mallory, who's the second author there, that is what he does. He's a global strategist who writes books and thought pieces for a living. And I am certain that he did a hell of a lot of lifting there. And can you get that done in four? It also was a relatively short book, if I remember correctly. It was like 120 pages. It wasn't
280 pages.
No, it was not.
Print length 280.
Was it really 280?
Right there. You got to get your facts.
The font.
Right. You're spending too much time with it.
Yeah.
You got to look at the font.
Go screw yourself, man. I swear to God. I swear to God. But the idea, I mean, if you're basing this theory on the fact that he got a book done in 4 months with a guy that writes books professionally for a living, I mean, listen,
I can ask a question and say that's a little weird. You don't think that's a little weird?
No.
Really? You don't think that's a little weird?
Christ, man. No. You're a smart guy.
No, I am a smart guy, and I ask questions.
Don't go into deep zone. Deep part of the pool
I think,
on this.
Okay, so let me go to a different direction with this one.
I'm telling you that if you next year say yes to the WEF, and you go and spend the entire week and actually see all the meetings, you'll come away saying, yeah, it's a conference.
Rahm Emanuel, you know who he is?
I know him well, yeah.
Okay, he said never let a crisis go to waste.
Yes, he did say that.
Do you think they saw COVID as a crisis to use? Do you think the World Economic Forum maybe saw this as an opportunity to really impose their beliefs around the world?
A nonprofit organization of 600 people, most of whom last for 2 years and then go on and work someplace else? No! No! People said that about the Council on Foreign Relations. The Council is like a tiny, sleepy nonprofit. And why? And they are the most bureaucratic organization. It's so hard to get things done. And they're nice people. And they're smart people. But they don't run the world. And so the idea, the people that run the world are the people that are worth hundreds of billions of dollars, that are directly in meetings with world leaders where they can actually take real advantage of those meetings because they can put cash into play. They're conveners of events.
Yeah, but you're not so the insurance industry has an organization called LIMRA, okay? Mm-hmm. The guy that was running it was a guy that was very, very powerful in the insurance space. He was a CEO of it, okay? What made him powerful? What made him powerful is the fact that every CEO of 40, 50, 100, $200 billion insurance company went to his conference.
Yeah.
Every year. You know how much power the guy had?
I don't.
A lot of power.
I'm not in the insurance industry.
Oh, it's a lot of power, though.
Yeah.
So if you think about this guy is getting all of these leaders like Larry Fink, Jamie Dimon, everybody from around the world is coming to his conference.
They all have industry groups that are really, really relevant for them. And if you want to talk about where they're applying and making sure that they're aligning their capital, it's in their industry groups. It's not in the WEF with everybody else. In the WEF, they're meeting with everyone so they can get business done. It is transactional. It is not strategic. Strategic are where they put money into their PACs, they put money into their industry groups and figure out what are the things that move the needle for them so that they have more.
Okay, maybe this guy is correct. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe this guy is correct in that the WEF conference is just simply transactional. It's just people going there to try and make business connections and try and get some stuff done for their business. Whatever. Could be true. It's still, Patrick Bet David's point still stands, and I hope it goes harder on this. that there's an abnormal amount of people that go to these conferences that are a part of the WEF, that weird things happen where they seem to know when a war is about to start. They seem to know when a pandemic is about to hit. And they're in control of all these things. They're the ones that are pushing the climate change agenda and things like that. And they're benefiting off of all of these things. They're maybe the conference itself could just be general strategic partnerships. Although they do say, you will own nothing and you'll be happy and things like that at these conferences. So I don't even know why we're giving him the benefit of the doubt on that. That doesn't make any sense. But let's just say it is. There must be something else happening. Maybe it's an after party or something where all these people who are meeting, because this conference, the WEF, has the largest concentration of these people who seem to make these crazy predictions, who seem to be prepared for these things that nobody could see coming, and that seem to benefit massively off of a lot of disasters and a lot of tragedies and a lot of, the pandemic and the wars and all this stuff. There's no doubt that there's an abnormal amount of people that can foresee these things at these conferences. So even if these conferences themselves are just simply strategic business partnerships, something else is going on here, and the fact that this guy is trying to defend it, either number one, he's getting paid really well by the WEF to go speak at these events, or he's in on it as well. Those are basically the two options, because anybody who's not directly getting paid by them or who are in on it, look at it objectively and say, yep, something fishy's going on 100%. There's no way you can deny it. How can anyone deny it?
Access to the kind of regulations they want, the kind of taxes they want. That's where that power is being levered. No question.
And the guy that hosts it, that brings everybody together, who says things like the following. Let me just read this quote to you.
From whom?
Okay. This is the sweetheart of a guy, Klaus.
Oh, yeah,
you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
I remember that, yeah.
You think that's just normal?
I thought that was an odd quote.
You think that's just odd?
I do. I mean,
odd is an understatement.
Odd.
That brings all the richest people in the world.
Oh my God. If I look at the people that are driving AI in the world today and what they say about the future, and so the idea that you're going to have digital sovereignty and people are going to upload into the internet.
The guy that's running the whole thing, that's inviting all these guys who sell you'll own nothing and be happy.
Running the whole thing.
That's normal.
He's in charge of a conference.
That everybody shows up. Like, he's got influence over, like, for example, if a guy hosted a
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Conference that said, I want the best fighters in the world to show up to my conference. Who the F are you? But this guy puts it, all the fighters show up. Why? Guy's got influence.
Look, I mean, if we were to try to find individual quotes that make political leaders that you and I know look batshit crazy and only talk about those things, we could do that. We choose not to.
Yeah.
Why it is that we've decided that we're going to key in on this one quote?
I think it's the last 4 or 5 years that a lot of people started looking to seeing when you make. I mean, he said in 2016, right?
Yeah.
When he said, "You'll own nothing, you'll be happy," and a leader who says you can make a lot of different. You grab them by XYZ, right? Mm-hmm. When Trump said that to whatever the Bush guy.
Yes,
right?
of course, on the Access Hollywood.
All right. So what is that? Okay. Got it. Inappropriate.
Sure.
Now the guy says, we got to get they send the worst. They send their rapists and criminals and, da-da-da. Oh, my God. Trump just called all these. Hey, they do. I mean, stuff has been said. People have some bad.
Yeah, and when this guy is right, you can go find some crazy quotes from these politicians, no doubt about it. But like Patrick Bet David is saying, you can go find these quotes, right? But they don't say anything like what Klaus Schwab said. They don't say anything like a lot of these WEF attendees say in terms of like controlling the masses, like Patrick Bet David said earlier, don't let any tragedy or whatever go to waste. Don't let any, whatever he said, go to waste. Basically saying profiting off of the downfall of the American people, profiting off of bad things happening to America. Not dumb, that's smart, right? But when you add that in to everything else that's said at these conferences, like you will own nothing and be happy, and you look at the ideology of all these people who are showing up, a lot of them are pushing the climate change agenda and yet buying a lot of beachfront property. A lot of them are buying up all the farmland in America. A lot of them are saying that we should be eating bugs, things like that, instead of meat, instead of animals. you know, and it when you put all of that stuff together, it just starts to feel weird. It just starts to be like, okay, something strange is going on here. And then whenever you have people like this guy, this Ian Bremmer guy, going on the PBD podcast and telling Patrick Bet-David to his face, no, it's just a conference. There's nothing strange at all. It makes me think that there is even more strange things happening at these conferences, and maybe not at the conference itself, but between the people who are going to these conferences. It makes me even more weary that something weird's going on here, you know, because anyone with any sort of common sense that isn't bought out or that isn't benefiting from the weirdness that's going on will be able to look at this objectively and say, yep, that's off. Something is off about that. When there's this many people concentrated in this area at this conference who all have these same weird ideas about controlling the masses and, you know, taking control, taking power away from people, not letting people own things. Like, all these people are here in the same spot, and you're telling me that you don't find that strange? Then you are also in on it.
Days. You'll own nothing and be happy is a little bit weird.
It's a little bit weird. If you ask me what I think that actually reflects, it reflects a view of a technologically driven, some would say utopian, many more would say dystopian world, when human beings are radically different than they are right now. If you ask me, if I look at where AI is driving, you know, sort of humanity, it's not in a place where most people in the world are going to have a lot of control over productive forces. Labor is getting a lot weaker. Do I think people will be happy about that? No, I don't. I think people, and if they are happy, it's because they're programmed to be happy. I think that everyone says artificial general intelligence is coming. I think that computers are programming us a lot more quickly than we're programming computers. Right? We are affected much more as consumers and products as we engage on this stuff. I think that if you put it in that context, I think you would find that what he said is much more aligned with a lot of your most advanced tech thinkers in the world today. And those are places that we should be pushing back against.
Yeah, maybe let me show you a highlight reel of Klaus Schwab being Tony Robbins here. Rob, if you got a clip, do you have something you want to show us?
Sure.
Here's Klaus Schwab.
Yeah.
It's not just happening. The change can be shaped by us.
You actually can't show this on YouTube. It's going to get taken down. But yeah, I just find it weird that I agree, right? I agree. These people who are pushing AI and they're pushing artificial intelligence so hard and things like that, I find it weird as well, because a lot of them are also saying that if AI gets too advanced, they're going to wipe out the human race. It's only the natural progression of the thing. And yet we still are just barreling towards that reality so quickly due to these people who cannot stop pushing AI forward. They can't stop it. It's like they're addicted to doing it. And then, you know, I agree. That's weird. And we should probably push back against that. And we should probably push back against Klaus Schwab saying things like you'll own nothing and be happy and things like that at the same time. And this guy is not saying that we should push back against that. He's saying it's weird, but he's also saying, oh yeah, it's just a normal conference. You know, if you went there, like you would just realize it's just a normal conference. Like there's nothing strange going on. And yet at the same time, he's admitting that it's weird that that stuff is said where you'll own nothing and be happy. I don't know, man. It's strange. It's a very strange. It's almost like it's borderline at the point where like you don't want to look into it too much because you just know there's going to be dark things happening if you look into it too much, and it's just going to ruin your day. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about Patrick Bet-David bringing on this guy Ian Bremmer onto his show, the PBD podcast, and setting him straight. You know, just telling him directly to his face, dude, you're wrong. Like there's weird things happening here. And the fact that you can't admit that is a huge problem. And it's very, very telling about you and your character. Let me know in the comments you guys think about this whole Patrick Bet-David versus this WEF weirdo here, this woke nut job, Ian Bremmer on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel.